What's good, football fam? Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things soccer, with a side of real talk. Mikel Arteta rolled into Arsenal back in 2019. And let's be real, his trophy cabinet's looking a bit light. 3 pieces of silverware in 6 years? That's 2 Community Shields and 1 FA Cup. Not exactly setting the Emirates on fire.
The Gunners' last domestic title way back in 2023. And don't even get me started on the Premier League. That golden trophy hasn't been in North London since the Invincibles ran the show in 2003-04. So, the million-dollar question buzzing in every Gooner's head: is Arteta the guy to take Arsenal to the promised land, or is it time to say thanks but no thanks? Stick around, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's break it down.
First off, let's talk cash. Arsenal has been splashing serious dough, close to 900 million euros on transfers over the past 5 years, including this summer. That's not exactly Moneybags, Manchester City vibes, but it's a far cry from the Arsene Wenger days when the man was scraping by with 10 million euros to sign Emmanuel Adebayor from Monaco and calling it a win.
Arteta's got no excuses on the budget front. Want Declan Rice? Boom, 115 million euro. Kai Havertz? Drop 75 million euro. The bank's open, Mikel.
But here's where it gets juicy. Arsenal made history under Arteta by hiring their first ever sporting director, Edu Gaspar, back in the day. You'd think a Spanish manager and a Brazilian exec would be a match made in football heaven, but nah, things got messy. Word on the street is Edu and Arteta butted heads big time over transfers. Take Houssem Aouar from Lyon. Mikel was all in, but Edu pushed for Thomas Partey's release clause instead. Fast forward, Edu's out, now working with Evangelos Marinakis, the big boss of Nottingham Forest, Olympiacos, and Rio Ave. In comes Andrea Berta, the mastermind behind Atletico Madrid's golden era since 2013, to steer Arsenal's transfer ship. This summer, it was all about Berta's Italian-Spanish flair shaping the Gunners squad. Let's hit pause and recap last season real quick. Arsenal finished second in the Premier League for the 3rd straight year. Solid, but not enough. They made waves in the Champions League, knocking out Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid before crashing out in the semis. But injuries? Oh man, they were a nightmare. Only Brighton had it worse. By the end of the season, Arsenal were trotting out Leandro Trossard up top because Havertz was sidelined and Bukayo Saka was hobbling with a dodgy hamstring. It's like the football gods were testing Arteta's squad depth. Extra note, this injury curse isn't new for Arsenal. Remember the days of Aaron Ramsey and Jack Wilshere living in the physio room? It's a systemic issue, and Arteta's got to figure out how to keep his stars fit. So, what's the vibe for this season? The consensus is clear. Arteta's got to deliver a trophy or he's out the door. Unlike City or Chelsea, who are out there making early moves, Arsenal played the waiting game. Their first signing, Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea for £5 million. Solid backup for David Raya after a strong loan spell at Bournemouth. No drama there. But while Liverpool were wrapping up Florian Wirtz in June, Arsenal were chilling, biding their time. Smart move or risky? Berta was playing 4D chess, balancing the books to stay within FIFA's financial fair play and the Premier League's PSR rules. Pro tip: PSR has been a headache for clubs like Aston Villa, who could barely sign anyone this summer. Arsenal dodged that bullet. Then July hit and the floodgates opened. Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, 70 million euros. Done. The Basque star picked Arsenal over Real Madrid, partly because he and Arteta share San Sebastian roots. Zubimendi's a creative midfielder, not a destroyer like Partey, who left amid some legal drama. With tidy ball progression and a modest £75,000 a week wage, half of what Casemiro's pocketing at United, Zubimendi's a steal. Fun fact, his 15 to 20 meter runs are pure class, controlling the game's tempo like a maestro. Next up, Christian Norgard from Brentford for 11 million euros. A gritty, defensive-minded midfielder for rotation, cheap and effective. But the big debate, Nani Madueke for £50 million. Fans were fuming, thinking, why not go for a bigger name like Rodrigo? Arteta sold it as Madueke's versatility. Left wing, right wing, you name it.
And 2 months into the season, with Gabriel Martinelli off form and Saka nursing injuries, that stocky winger's been a sneaky good addition, racking up corners and creating chaos. Hot take, but Dwight's work rate is underrated. He's not just a flair player, he's grinding for the team.
Christian Mosquera was a no-brainer. Young, right-footed defender who can play center back or right back, backing up Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, or even Jurrien Timber. He snubbed Atletico and Milan to join Arsenal, even turning down a better deal from Valencia. Loyalty vibes? We love to see it.
Now, the summer's biggest saga, the striker hunt. Arsenal's been crying out for a lethal number 9 forever. Last season, Havertz led the team with 9 goals in 23 games. Decent, but not exactly Van Persie numbers. Back in the day, Robin was dropping 30 a season. Olivier Giroud, more of a facilitator. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was the last real deal, but that was ages ago.
Arteta wanted Benjamin Šeško, pricey but a perfect fit for his system. Berta, though, pushed for Victor Gyökeres, who smashed 39 goals, 8 from penalties in Portugal last season. Mikel caved, and Gyökeres joined for a hefty fee, reportedly pressuring his club and even ditching his Portuguese actress girlfriend to cut ties with his old life. Wild, right? But here's the catch. He signed on July 26, giving him just 3 weeks to gel with the team.
That's a headache for Arteta. Gyökeres isn't a Havertz or Trossard. He's a pure spearhead, and the team's got to rewire their attack to feed him. At £200,000 a week, matching Saka's wages, the pressure's on. Bold prediction, if he doesn't start banging in goals soon, the Emirates faithful will turn on him fast.
2 more signings to wrap up. Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace for £60 million. A homegrown hero returning to Arsenal after Spurs tried to swoop in. Mikel played dirty, up to the contract terms, and sealed the deal. At 27, Eze's in his prime, bringing creativity and depth.
And Piero Hincapié, the Ecuadorian left-footed defender, can slot in at center back or left back. Arsenal called him the final puzzle piece on Twitter, and there's talk of a 3 at the back system. Sneaky thought, Hincapié's versatility could unlock tactical flexibility, especially with injuries piling up. On the outgoing side, Arsenal shipped out Zinchenko, Nelson, Vieira, Tierney, Jesus, Lokonga, and Nuno Tavares. None were in Arteta's plans, and offloading them cleared wage space while bringing in some cash. Smart business, even if their transfer balance isn't pretty.
So, what's Arsenal's deal? Title contenders, European hopefuls, or something else? 3 games into the Premier League and it's already a roller coaster. Kai Havertz went down with a knee injury in the opener, out for months. Against Manchester United, Gyökeres looked lost, touching the ball 22 times, losing 10 of 13 duels, and fading into oblivion.
United's Altay Bayındır owned the set pieces, and Arsenal barely deserved a draw. The bright spot? Riccardo Calafiori starting over Miles Lewis-Skelly. The Italian's a press monster, giving Arteta a defensive option to think about, while Lewis-Skelly's more attack-minded. Quick take. Calafiori's emergence is huge. He struggled last year, but looks like a new man. Game 2 against the championship side, Victor Gyökeres stepped up, bagging a brace. 1 from open play, 1 from a penalty earned by 15-year-old wonder kid Max Daumann. Yeah, you heard that right. A kid born in 2009 is out here winning pens. But then, the injury bug bit again. Odegaard and Saka went down, and William Saliba limped off in Game 3. Arteta had to throw Martinelli on the wing, Madueke at right wing, and Mosquera in defense. Against a top side with only 2 proper defenders, Arsenal pressed well, but created next to nothing. 6 points from 3 games, sitting third, but the vibes? Shaky. Gyökeres flopped against Liverpool's center backs. Martinelli's form is in the gutter, and the injury list is brutal. Saka's out for September, Odegaard's nursing a shoulder issue, and Saliba should be back post-international break. Here's the deal. Arsenal can hang with the best, but something's always missing. They're not quite on Liverpool's level, let alone Chelsea, or even a wobbly Man City. The international break gives Arteta 2 weeks to sort out Gyökeres, fine-tune the attack, and maybe sneak in a moment of magic with Eze. If he pulls it off, we're talking title race. If not,
Next season, Arsenal's got a new gaffer, no doubt. That's the game, folks.
Drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's Arsenal's ceiling this season? Agree, indigo, and you buying the Arteta hype or nah? Thanks for chilling with me. Catch you next time.